Hi, my name is Gada Baz, and I'm here to talk about the Paramotor STOL Classics competition, which is coming up in December. And with me, we have Leah Catullo, captain of Team USA, also the competition chair in the USPPA, and our very own competition director.
Hello, everyone.
All right, Leah, so this competition has been your brainchild. You have been pushing for competition in the USA for a very long time. So how do you feel about this finally happening?
Well, I'm really excited about it. Also, a lot of nerves. It's been quite a few years since the U.S. has had any competition. I know most U.S. pilots, they tend to be the weekend warrior, and I'm trying to change the mindset to bring a little competition between pilots, which will make them better pilots overall and hopefully grow the team that has been starting to travel more routinely across the pond to Europe. I'm really looking forward to seeing how other pilots in the US respond to seeing the skills of other people other than just the videos, but actually seeing them live and seeing people screw up. Seeing people do really well. Some pilots are going to do better than they think, and some pilots are going to do worse than they think. And I think this is the main way to show everybody that competition is actually accessible to everyone. You don't have to be the world's best pilot to go to a comp and potentially win. Just showing up is half the battle.
That is actually a very good point. What do you think are the main things that U.S. pilots need to focus on to be able to get to that level of international competition?
Fundamental skills. When we're talking classic comps, it's all fundamental skills. Launching and landing, a little bit of navigation, understanding your equipment. You know, in classic comp, there are enough tasks that will divide up the benefits of your equipment to not make one powerful motor or one large wing or one small wing and the benefit of a comp, but to know how fast you go, how much distance it takes for you to launch and land, to know where you are on the globe, through just navigation. We are changing the navigation game a little bit, which is the best part of this. I hate map boards. And I am trying to make the competition easier for everybody. Everybody carries a cell phone. And hopefully this will be the new big thing in classic comp, where you just need a cell phone. So with Paramotor STOL Classics, we're kind of lowering the barriers to any type of competition. So in my experience, traveling and going to competitions, there's a large barrier to competing. Money, travel, even just the equipment alone. Paramotor STOL Classics' aim is to lower these barriers in order to make it more accessible to everybody in the U.S. We chose December because it's winter in most of the country, and now you get to come to Florida, palm trees, sun in December, and you can take your winter trip.
Yeah, it's definitely a very good time to fly in Florida.
Right.
It's very exciting. I wanted to take this as an opportunity to talk about the specific tasks that are lined up for Paramotor STOL Classics. Can you tell us more about that?
So there's the STOL competition, which is a short takeoff and landing. We have adapted and almost created a whole new rule set from regular fixed-wing STOL, which is kind of exciting. Reese has taken great lead on this and dedicated so much time to it. I have added in the other tasks, the regular classic tasks, such as the accuracy and the navigation, in order to make it that your equipment alone, once again, does not impede or create another barrier of even winning. Paramotor STOL Classics is combining not only STOL, but other classic tasks such as accuracy, swoop landing with bowling, little bowling pins, accuracy in the fact of spot landings. There are some other things such as the wall that we will be adding, but navigation is new. We will be running not only just straight navigation and turn points, where you're basically treasure hunting in the sky.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
I wanted to make it more simple. I don't like the map boards. And I don't want U.S. pilots to have to build these map boards and understand the calculations of everything. I want them to be able to take a more nonchalant approach to this, just to understand how competition works. And let's be realistic. Most pilots in the U.S., if not all pilots in the U.S., don't fly with a map board, but we all fly with cell phones. So we have partnered with Gaggle to create a new system of navigation. While I was in England this year, Henny from Gaggle was there, and I just pitched this idea, and he's like, yeah, I think we can do it. And it just keeps growing. So I can see this becoming something that people across the United States can set up through Gaggle at a fly-in and create even a navigation task. So I think there's going to be an ability with Gaggle and a navigation task that can go to any fly-in. And you could run a STOL competition at the fly-in as well. So this could be something that gives a lot of American pilots practice, and then can take these new skills and this knowledge, really. I mean, because really all you're going to get out of this is this knowledge and experience that then you maybe go to Europe with the rest of us, and you know something more than nothing. And you find out that you're competing, you're on the same level as everybody, and now all of a sudden you're traveling the world with your paramotor, which is sort of all of our dreams when we first started this, like all
Absolutely.
The possibilities, all the places we're going to go. And
you never know until you actually try. So it's really exciting to see that pilots from all over the US and other countries are signing up and are coming to be part of this experience. And I'm very excited about Gaggle being part of this, because they have been a growing app in this sport, and a lot of pilots rely on Gaggle nowadays. So it's really nice to see Gaggle adding these features and working with you on actually coming up with the different details and rules, all to serve our upcoming competition. So that is great for the navigation task. It's really exciting that we will have that task for pilots who are fans of cross-country flights and been in the air for a long time. I know that some of the other tasks require pilots to have different skills, specifically a good understanding of their equipment and kind of being able to strategize their choices of gear. And this is very important because we do have this expectation that pilots will choose the same wing, same motor for the entire competition.
Yeah, so you do choose one glider and one motor, and you register that with us. There will be an opportunity to change a glider before the competition starts. So even if somebody says, well, I don't know which glider I'm going to use, who knows what the weather conditions are, you register a glider, but you still have an opportunity during an equipment check to change your gear. It's just prior to any competition. Part of the idea of the different tasks, you think, well, a big glider and a powerful motor, and I get off the ground in no time, and it may not be good for all tasks. And there's a speed category in navigation. Well, now you want the fastest glider possible. So if you only planned, this big giant slow wing, it's not going to work for when it comes to speed. The different tasks will have relatively weighted scoring, so that maybe not one particular task will give you the ability, to run away and win the championship, but you'll have to do well in multiple tasks. A lot of people have voiced questions on how this accuracy works, which I'd like to tell people that it's a motor off spot landing. So both with the swoop landing and your actual spot landing, you have 30 seconds off motor. And that's a dead stick landing, and you have to come in at least 30 seconds. So I used to tell people 500 feet. 30 seconds is a good rule, and you have to practice. The two main accuracy tasks will be a spot landing and a swoop landing. Both of these, and swoop is a bowling task where there are pins lined up and you come in, and this is all motor off, where you knock down as many pins as possible, and that's how you get scored. The spot landing is where you land on a spot, and it's the very first touch. Very different from STOL, where STOL is where you stop. Your first touch is one thing, and then but it really is determined by where you stop. So if you were to touch before the line on STOL, it's a disqualification, but you don't get scored until you actually stop. With spot landings, it's just where you touch. So you can come flying by and tap your foot on the bullseye and land 20 yards down the way, and you got a bullseye.
Completely different skills.
Yeah, completely different skills, because you're still, a lot of people like to swoop in. Some people don't. Some people stomp it.
So is that with motor on or motor off for both tasks?
Both of those tasks, anything accuracy-wise, is always motor off, and that is 30 seconds motor off, or approximately 500 feet. Some people like to come, doing spiral landings, and it may only take 10 seconds. So, but it's 30 seconds off, and basically you don't get a go around. Wherever you land is where you land. I have noticed in the past that most people don't actually practice spot landing. I practice every time, and yet when it's official, I screw up like the rest. Like, I can hit my spots all the time at home, but all of a sudden you go to score me and I can't even hit the target.
Why is that?
So condition changes, nerves, cameras, all the pilots are watching you. It changes everything, and I think that's the fun part about it. And I have no ego when it comes to it. Like, I couldn't have screwed up any better,
So what is your personal strategy? Because you've been in that situation a lot in international competitions.
Only have fun. For me, competitions are like the best fly-ins ever to go to, with things to do. You're always told, and all you ever hear is when you can't fly, but in the end, you've flown a lot, and you're at a fly-in because they were telling you what to do. And I really prefer to fly tasks. I always prefer somebody to say, oh, we're going to do this, even at a fly-in, to just go up and float around, free fly, and it's not fun. But let's go over here to this canyon, and we're going to do this, this, and this, especially with like a filmmaker. That's more fun. Can you put your body over here and get this shot? It's a task. When we have competition, we have these tasks that everybody can watch. It's now fun when you're not flying, because you get to watch and everybody screws up, and some people are grease and so smooth with everything. It's fun to watch people just be perfect, and it's fun to watch people screw up.
As a competition director, you will have to make a lot of decisions on the spot, because there are a lot of variables. For example, you have to deal with weather, you have to deal with the final numbers of pilots, seeing how everything lands at the time of the competition. So there will be a lot of decisions you're making.
Yes, unfortunately, I will have the most lonely position on the field.
With a lot of support from everyone.
As the competition director, I have to field all complaints, all questions, everything that is going on. I am the ultimate decision maker, which sounds, like fun, and I get to say yes and no, but really I'm the one who has to tell pilots when they can fly and when they can't fly. I have to be on top of the weather. I have to keep everybody safe.
Absolutely.
I
And
have
that's
to
not
create.
just for the competition pilots, but also spectators, everyone
Yes.
on the field. So everybody, you all have to listen to Leah. Competition director is in charge, okay?
You know, we will control the airspace.
Yes.
And that's the difference between a fly-in and a competition, that we control the airspace. You will never have people just flying on all over the place. Today, we ran a STOL demo, and we had a pilot who was not flying the STOL demo. And I noticed when he launched, and yes, he was a little bit out of the way, and I would think most people wouldn't have had a problem with him, but maybe this is a situation that they wouldn't have been comfortable with, another pilot. And you wouldn't see that at a competition. That would be more like a fly-in. We were just at a public airport. There just happened to be another paramotor pilot. That is what I control. It's private land, technically not private airspace, but no one will be there to interrupt our airspace.
Speaking of the demo stall test that we had this morning, I would like to thank all the pilots who showed up. We definitely had a great time, and we got a great opportunity to run the task with all the new rules that were developed and get feedback. So it was a great event. A little bit of details about our event. It's going to be hosted at Sunnyland Ranch Airport in Okeechobee, Florida, and it is open to pilots from all over the world. The competition will start on the 8th of December, and pilots are welcome to arrive as early as Friday to start getting set up and be ready to compete on the 8th.
So the competition fee is $150. We worked really hard with the landowner to reduce the rates for all the pilots, separate from the camping fee, and that was to allow the contestants, the pilots, to make alternate accommodations if they so choose.
This is not a fly-in, and there is a difference between a fly-in and a competition event. Leah, would you like to tell us a little bit about the main differences between a fly-in and a competition?
We control the airspace. We control when people are flying and when they're not flying. We are basically giving each pilot the sky to themselves when it's their turn to compete.
So right now, the competition fee is $150. Is that price going to change at some point?
Yes, it will change in November. We really want everybody to sign up early. This is going to allow us to facilitate our organization for you guys.
Leah, you've had a lot of experience with international competitions. How much does it actually cost to compete?
So normal comp is between 250 to 350 euros.
And is that participation fee or accommodation or both?
It's different for every comp, and it depends where it is. However, for the international ones, I'm still paying air travel. For the comp that's coming up in November, the slalom comp in Bornos, it's 250 euros, and everything else is on me. From camping, food, there is nothing else. It's basically paying just for the pylons and the organization.
So for a competition at the scale that we are going to see in December, $150 participation fee and $150 flat rate for camping, that's actually not a bad deal at all, right?
I think it's ridiculously low because it's sort of like a shoestring budget just to be able to buy paint and the site preparation, because we're not just putting a bunch of campers in a field. We have to feed volunteers. It's a little bit more organized than a regular flying, which is to me like a free-for-all, and you're hanging out and partying, which still just happens at these competitions. We still all hang out. It's just now it's organized. Now there's things that are specific for pilots and not just a camping party hangout.
Yeah, there are supplies and resources that are going to be needed, and of course the leadership team of this competition are volunteers, so that's also important to keep in mind.
Already, I mean, the countless hours already prior to Reese and I getting together and his excitement to try something. It will never, we'll never make any money. I mean, this is a passion project. It's
Absolutely.
a passion project for me as the comp chair of the USPPA to finally bring it back. I just saw Jeff going today, which is amazing because I haven't spoken to him since that horrible phone call where he put me in this position 5 years ago. And I gladly said yes, not knowing all the things that were going to happen, all the things I was going to learn in order to try to do this. But it's a passion project. It's slow going. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we'll build a U.S. team that is as large as the French team or the Spanish team. And we're all traveling around the world together. I mean, it couldn't be amazing. More fun. And this is the start.
I think this is a great time to give a shout out to our current members of Team USA. So who's currently on the team?
Oh, our current members. So we have Jillian and Johnson and Kelly, which he has not competed yet, but he has made some commitments. And now we have Kaylee Biss. So we are looking at 3 females, which is kind of a big deal for any country.
You mentioned 3 female pilots on Team USA, so that is actually a really good opportunity to bring up some of the sponsors. I'm going to start with our title sponsor right now. So we do have sponsorship opportunities available, and we are in conversations with many big names in the sport, so it's so exciting. Right now, we would like to thank Limitless Paramotor for becoming our first confirmed title sponsor. And speaking of the female pilots on the team, we also have Aurora PPG as one of our sponsors. We also have Ozone Paragliders, and we also have Aviator, one of the leading paramotor schools in the country. So thank you to our sponsors, a big thank you, because as we were just saying, it is going to be a lot of work and a lot of expenses, and we really want to make this a great event, and this is not going to happen without the support of our sponsors and the community.
There's no way we could do this without having sponsors. It would be absolutely impossible, and I can't thank them enough. Everybody who has offered to help us. It's amazing. As much as I am nervous about throwing the competition and making sure everything runs smoothly, it's the sponsors that keep me going, to be honest. It's the ones that, it's not the financial help, it's the fact that they're getting behind us more than anything, and they give me energy to keep pushing forward and trying to seek new pilots to represent the U.S.
Absolutely. This is going to be the biggest outcome of this competition, is getting the U.S. back on the map of international competitions in paramotoring. It's such a big deal, and it's so exciting that we have the support of our sponsors and the pilots from the U.S. and from all over the world.
Yeah, and talking about sponsorships, when pilots start traveling over to Europe, and they're really good, we have really good pilots here. We don't know what the rest of the world's like, and they don't know what we're like. And if some Europeans come here, they're like, "You guys have talent over here. How come you're not going?" Well, all of a sudden we get a U.S. pilot that crosses over to Europe, and now the major manufacturers all of a sudden know who they are, and then they get their own personal sponsorship. And next thing you know, they're moving on and getting free equipment, free travel, getting paid. I mean, it's not a Prince story and rare. It's, you just have to put yourself out there. And this is what I'm trying to get everybody to start traveling, and all of a sudden they meet the rest of the world and get into a bigger pond and realize they're actually just as good as the rest. Maybe not in everything, but enough to get going and keep going.
So this does not happen without the money, but also it does not happen without the volunteers. We do have many roles that we would like to get volunteers to help with.
Yeah, just go to the website, fill out a form.
It's coming up in December, so we don't really have a whole lot of time to get organized. So we would love it if you are able to volunteer and to sign up for those roles as soon as possible so we can get organized and help you prepare for the competition to be the best success that is possible.
Also, there's only 50 spots for competition pilots. So first come, first serve. We urge you to sign up quickly. Don't want to have anybody left out.
And of course, we would love the support of the paramotor schools out there. Nominate your best pilots. Send your instructors. Let's showcase the talent that you have at your school.
You know, Gada, one of the things that when I took on this role that I've been trying to do forever is separate what we do as competitions from sponsorships and everything. And I know a lot of people have kind of resisted some of the sponsorships because Aviator is such a big school. They have a large amount of money, but really what it was Eric Farwell's passion to support competition in me. For years I've been talking to Eric, and I've told him forever that I can't have Aviator as like a title sponsor because I have to separate him, his school, any of the way people feel in the U.S., the paradrama per se. And I just want people to know that although Limitless and Aviator and Ozone are helping us with this competition, that this has nothing to do with Aviator. This is completely separate. It's separate from every school. And I desperately want the naysayers and the people who have whatever opinions they have to let them go. Because Eric has always wanted to support me in anything I'm doing for the U.S. team. And I have for years denied any money from him because I didn't want to be attached to Aviator. I have to still thank Aviator for having Reese be on the team, Jillian coming onto the U.S. team. They supported her, and they are continuing to try to support me in any which way I need or request. Paramotor STOL Classics is to grow participation in the sport, to highlight every school in the nation.
This is definitely an event for everyone and for all schools, and all schools are welcome and encouraged to participate in any way that they can.
And sponsor. Show up. Just show up. I know it's in Florida, but the great thing, it's December.
Yes.
Where else are you going to be? We're trying to endorse everybody, every school, and every pilot at this point. Yeah, we're growing together. We are a family. Everywhere we go in the world, all of our paramotor friends, paragliding friends, we're instantaneous family with them. And that's what competition brings. As much as we're competing and our enemies are competing against us, we're still a family. We still all have the same passions.
We are excited to have you all participate. We are looking for volunteers, sponsors, and there are still opportunities for pilots to participate. So please go to our registration page and sign up in any of those roles. And we are so excited to see you all in Okeechobee, Florida, Sunnyland Ranch Airport, December 8 to 16. Thank you again for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.